Bolzano, one of the best cities in Italy for the quality of life. Together we'll discover what to visit: castles, monuments, museums, but also the colorful markets, the shopping streets, the traditions, the festivals. A green city dangling between its Italian present and its German past. Then, welcome to Bolzano, or Willkommen in Bozen. And this is Portici Street, the most ancient street in Bolzano. It has always been the mall of the city. In the past, there were the Italian traders' warehouses along the northern side of the streets and the German ones along the opposite side. Nowadays, it's a very beautiful pedestrian street with a lot of bars, restaurants, shops and elegant boutiques. A stroll down and out the cobbled alleys, the porches, the market square that has been hosted the market of Bolzano for more than 700 years is the best way to breathe the typical atmosphere of the city. The citizens of Bolzano call it Gabelwirt, that stays for the guest with the fork, and the pigeons treat it bad, but this is a 300 years old fountain, made of marble and bronze, and it's among the 100 most beautiful in Italy. I'm in the main square of Bolzano, built at the beginning of the 19th century and at the end of that century named after Walther von der Vogelweide. Last night I rehearsed 20 times this name, so I'm saying it right. Walther von der Vogelweide was one of the main German poets and the icon of the German world. The statue was put here at the end of the 19th century, you see it right behind my big head. And strangely it looks south, because that time Bolzano and the South Tyrol were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Like it was saying, stop, here begins Austria. And in Trento there is the statue of Dante Alighieri, the father of the Italian language, an Italian icon, that looks north like it was saying, yes, okay, but here is Italy. Anyway, today Walther Square is a very nice square. There are a lot of bars, really good buildings, it's the heart of the old town and the square where the main events take place. One above all, you have already seen the stalls, the Christmas market, then let's take a look. From late November to early January of the following year, Bolzano turns into a small Christmas village, with hundreds of stalls delighting citizens and tourists with typical culinary products and craft products. The big wheel, an ice skating ring, mulled wine, pancakes, strudel, the miniature train, the carousel, the show of the puppets, the carriage rides through the streets of the old town. In South Tyrol, on the 6th of December, Santa Claus makes an appearance to visit children and bring them gifts. This is the way Bolzano gets ready for Christmas. I couldn't start the day better. Second breakfast of the day here at the Loacker store, in the very heart of Bolzano. Today I have to walk a lot to see many things around the city, So I decided to come here in this very beautiful place where you can eat and drink anything you want, and there is also the store where to buy the WALTHER products, very good, of this historical firm from Bolzano. This is a stopover you cannot miss. And right in front of the store you'll see the Cathedral of Bolzano, the most important religious building in the city. Its construction began in the 11th century and across the years it has become a masterpiece of Romanesque and Gothic art.
Il campanile del Duomo di Bolzano.
The bell tower of the cathedral is 213 feet high. Every Saturday and Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, 25 bells play a beautiful melody. But there is something odd about this bell tower. Here is a fresco painted by some Giotto's pupils. Your attention is immediately drawn by a pilgrim coming back from Santiago de Compostela. You can recognize him by the cane and the shell around his neck. And this pilgrim is knocked out by a bell. I don't know what it means. Maybe you do. I walk with no hurry the streets of Bolzano. Beautiful glimpses, family-run stores, picturesque corners where you can relax and enjoy the typical atmosphere, and where sometimes it happens to bump into strange characters. And I decide to go to the Mercantile Palace to visit the museum that recalls the economic history of Bolzano and summarizes the golden age of the international trade, which contributed a lot to the development of the city, for centuries crucial point for trades between Central Europe and Italy. The visit represents ancient rooms, documents, the chamber of the Chancellor, Baroque-style paintings, and ends up in the majestic chamber of the Mercantile Court, unchanged from the 18th century. I keep on walking up to the monument to the victory. Built by the fascist government between 1926 and 1928 to celebrate the victory of the Italian army against the Austro-Hungarian Empire during the First World War, and up to the Talvera Park, green riverside just outside the old town of Bolzano that leads to Mareccio Castle.
C'è una leggenda interessante.
There is an interesting legend about Mareccio Castle. According to this legend, a young and beautiful girl named Clara, the last heir of the Mareccio family, was engaged to a knight named Teobaldo, who left for the Holy Land. Before he left, they swore undying love for one another. After 3 years, Teobaldo got back to his homeland. He was exhausted, worn out, and skinny, and nobody could recognize him. At the same time, he wanted a proof of love from Clara, so he thought to tell his fellow citizens the adventures of a so-called Teobaldo, a strong and brave knight he met in the Holy Land, who was offered to marry a girl from a very rich family, and he accepted. Clara was among the people listening to the story, and she ran away as she heard those words. Teobaldo saw her and realized she was still in love with him, so he followed Clara, who got here at the castle. He screamed her name, but no one answered. He couldn't find her, he just saw an open window. He looked down and saw the body of the girl, lifeless. Well, since then people say the ghost of Clara still lives in the Mareccio Castle, waiting for her beloved Teobaldo, the one Clara promised eternal love. Along the river Talvera, up to the entrance of the Serentino Valley, I reached the Roncolo Castle. Built on a rocky spur, the castle boasts amazing frescoes that represent hunting scenes, knights' tournaments, and scenes from the daily life in the Middle Ages, but also the adventures of Tristan and Isolde, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, dragons, giants, The castle has the best preserved frescoes of the Middle Ages. For this reason, and for being the most painted and photographed castle in the 19th century, it is also known as the picturesque fortress. Lake Carezza is known as the Rainbow Lake, for the stunning color of its water in summer and for the legend of the mermaid Ondina. This legend tells about a wizard in love with a beautiful mermaid, who lived in the lake. The wizard created a rainbow to call the attention of Ondina, but he scared her. She dove into the lake, never to emerge again. Therefore the wizard smashed the rainbow into pieces and threw it into the lake. Today the statue of the mermaid is often underwater. In winter the lake is always frozen, and it's not possible to walk by the shores, but a path allows you visit the Christmas market. Wooden stalls like huge lanterns, typical culinary products from South Tyrol and crafts products, and stoves to warm up a bit. You'll dive into a fairy tale winter world, made of ancient traditions, music and sense of Christmas time.
E anche questa volta...
Well, time to say goodbye. I hope you like Bolzano. Let me know. If you want to keep on traveling through Italy with me, subscribe my channel, so you can see many other videos. I am ready for another departure. Italian travel.